Everyone has smoke for all the characters in the drama, but I have particular beef with Mike that I need to address. I think Mike is one of the most frustrating characters in the drama, and I want to dive into what that looks like. If you haven't seen the drama, please pause this video, save it, like it, and then come back to it. We're gonna go through some spoilers. One of the big reasons that frustrates me so much about Mike in the drama is not what he does, it's what he doesn't do. We have to go to the confession scene where each one of them tells about the worst thing that they've done in their life. Going through and sharing the worst things that they've done, and Charlie has said that he cyberbullied a kid so much that they ended up moving. Obviously there's conflict when each one of them shares, but there's something that's different when Charlie shares his secret. Mike is the one that immediately almost absolves Charlie of the thing that he did as a child and basically says, well, that happened as a child, so it doesn't really matter. That line is really crucial because now it creates a space for Emma to finally share the thing that she has. One of the things that happens here is we get a shot of Emma's face as she is in this drunken stupor, but she's starting to relax and feels like this is a safe space and I won't be judged here. Then Emma shares her truth, she shares her big secret, and something interesting really happens because Rachel is very vicious in her reaction. And then we have Charlie, who's a little taken aback from it, but is still trying to understand, is asking questions, laughing through it. And then there's Mike, who has quickly given grace to Charlie, but when Emma has shared, where is that grace? Ultimately, to me, this is a sign of his hypocrisy kicking in and also his passivity. The thing that this movie does is to show that Mike is inherently passive, avoids conflict so much so that his morality becomes really inconsistent. When it comes to Emma and her story requires a little bit of nuance, it's not. See this in his confession in the dog bite story where he positions himself behind his partner as a human shield, basically saying that he'd rather other people absorb the harm than him face any of the real consequences and backlash. I have Rachel's maid of honor speech where he doesn't step in to say anything and allows her to do the thing that she does at the wedding. Though he knows who Rachel is. He knows this secret. He has heard this secret and has chosen to stay with her even before we heard this confession and even now at this wedding. It's a really uncomfortable dynamic and I think it really begs a lot of great questions. Obviously the first one is who gets to actually be forgiven. Another question that I really thought of is what counts as real. I think Mike draws that line selectively, but I also feel like we do that in society as well. I think that's what makes him so interesting but also so frustrating as a character. I think this movie's trying to draw and say that Rachel and Charlie's hypocrisy, you can see it play out in real time, but Mike's is a little bit more quiet and sneaky, but I think is just as bad and needs to be talked about in the same vein as these two. I think ultimately to pick a villain, to pick who's the worst character here is doing the film a disservice because each one of them is completely flawed and it's reflecting a real reality that we have when people share their deepest secrets.